Good afternoon, everyone. Here is from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. It is from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Nodi Singer, today our host for the afternoon. My name is Yarni Sakta Chaudhary and I am from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seeker, I am proud to visit IGP as a global level. IGP is a social and ISO certified international training institute. In 3 years, we have already served 3 million knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 250 plus professions and 4,500 plus organizations. Instead of Global Professional, IGP is a training faculty for skill development, which was founded in 2020 and each year empowering candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides several globally recognized and reputable service student and counter resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it is not effective to increase one's skill just by acquiring formal education. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision and we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminars, courses, awards, quiz competitions, entering and counseling years. On the other side, we also try to serve more than 100 plus free services for free. Create own portfolio website, resume letter, cover letter, motivation letter, and wall knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge, which can update all day. To ensure excellent and in-depth instruction, we are enriched with qualified trainers, speakers, and instructors. We extend free services to more than 3 million knowledge seekers in the last few years. We have affiliation with universities and organizations in 70 different countries. Virtual MOOCs signing with many colleges and organizations have been accomplished. We are working to create a better generation of future scholars and citizens who will be accountable. We are constantly prepared to assist all knowledge seekers with valuable service. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professional. We believe that knowledge is love, light, and vision. We must have a genuine concern for the learners. We represent more diversity, growth, and innovation are required. To lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity, ISP members are committed to offering effective base quality service and functional improvements so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill levels and before we move to the next, let me remind you don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friends in the comment box. Your support very valuable to us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,366 webinars successfully. At present, now we are going to start our 1,367, and our program name is Skill Development School Level. And today we are speaker. We have our speaker. Our speaker name is Ma'am Miss Jashinder Sethi, and she is from India. She is the president of Roshni Women Welfare Society. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am.
Very good afternoon to each one of you present over here. Before I start my presentation, I am thankful
Yes.
to the
First, you
Institute
have to
of
give some
Global
description
Profession.
about yourself, and you can start.
Sorry, sorry,
Ma'am, give some description
ma'am,
about
please
yourself,
come
then
again.
you can start.
Okay. So once again, good afternoon to each one of you present, and I'm thankful to the Institute of Global Professionals giving me an opportunity in the capacity of President of Roshni Women Welfare Society to interact with you all, and today's topic is skill development at school level. As we know that skill development is need of the hour, and in 21st century we are talking more about the skill development in our children. Taking up this topic, the reason behind was that in 19th century we had seen that more of the focus was given on reading, writing, and there was more of a rote learning kind of thing. But in today's scenario, it is not like that. In today's scenario, the education has to be in such a way where there is skill development in each child. As we say that for any person, he or she needs to be good. We need to have education, which is, of course, formal and informal. In schools we get formal education, and along with the education whatever is being provided in today's scenario, it is important that values need to be inculcated. Where we talk that values need to be inculcated, at the same time the skills which are different depending upon an individual having the potential to claim that every child is unique. I mean, every human being is a unique creation of the Almighty. And every child in the school has different potentials. So we need to take care of each child in the school whose parents rely upon us and they have given the child in our custody to make him her a person who is not only successful in the school or in the college but successful in his her life. And the skills which we will be talking about today will be a way, a path for the children to be successful in their life. When we talk about the skills, it comes to our mind that what is actually the meaning of a skill. We keep talking that today's scenario, even if we talk about NEP 2020, we see that the government is also talking much about the skills. Earlier, it was like we wanted children also, or the parents also used to think that they were in demand of white collar job. But today's scenario, it is not like that. To be successful, we need to change our mindset and we need to inculcate certain skills. And when we say skills, what does it actually means? So the skill is nothing but it's the ability to perform an activity in a competent manner. It is referred to as a skill. Or in another words, we can say that it is the learned ability to act with determined result, with good execution, often within given amount of time, energy, and many a times we need to focus on the amount given, amount of time given, as well as the energies. Both are required. That ability to do that work in a limited time and the energy required, that is termed to be a skill. Even if I say that skill can also be called as an art, as it represents a body of knowledge or a branch of learning. For example, I would give an example like we say art of medicine, art of war, art of teaching. So, although we are this art are also skills, they are not directly connected to the art, but they are skills what we are talking about in different fields. There are many skills that form an art, but directly they don't have any connection with the fine arts. So it is again very, very important that what kind of skill are we talking about. Just to begin with, that we all know that there are various kinds of skills, but if I have to mention them categorically and in a broad way, I could say that there are domain journal skills which represent the teamwork we do, the leadership, the time management, etc., which in journal everybody is supposed to have such kind of skills so that they be successful. If it is a domain specific kind of skill, the another uh, type of skill which I was just talking, as the name shows, it is a skill which a certain job requires. And for that, any kind of skill we talk about, for that, the environmental stimuli and situation to access the level of the skill being shown is very, very important. Although these skills they are termed as an art, but directly they don't have any connection with the fine arts. So, in other words, we can categorize the types of skill in three types, which can be transferable or functional skills. It can be personal trait attitudes, knowledge based. And when we talk about transferable or functional skills, as the name shows, that they are the skills uh, which shows the action which is to be performed or it has to be taken to do a task. Transferable, as the name shows, that it can be transferred to different kind of work, and it functions in different industries or different scenarios. It can be learned from one person to the other person. It actually is based upon the aptitude and the ability of a person. Second type, and it is like, if I have to give you an example that how what kind of things are being done. So with the help of certain verbs, I would say that, like when we say to organize, when we say to promote, analyze, write, organize, these are certain words or verbs which show the kind of transferable or functional skills. Then is the personal trait or attitude skills. As again the name shows that these are the personal traits, personal qualities, personal characteristics of a person that contribute to perform a particular work or in performing a work. It is a kind of attitude which a child develops right from the beginning uh, of his learning. That means that from the time when he takes birth and the environment of the family or the people whom he connects with, that attitude comes from there. So, and whatever the child experiences a kind has an experience, that all things attribute to the personal trait or attitude of a person. For example, like adjectives I would like to give is like patience, diplomatic, result oriented, independent. These are certain words which can be used to show this kind of personal trait or attitude kind of skill. So then we come to the third type, which is known as the knowledge based. So, as the name shows, knowledge based means that the knowledge of a specific subject, the procedures, information necessary to perform a task. So, all these things are very important to have a knowledge based skill. And for that, the schools are providing certain knowledge, subject knowledges to the students. And this knowledge based skill, it can be acquired. Like I said, personal trait attitudes, of course, that can be acquired, but they are inherent also. But knowledge based is something which can be acquired through education, training, or when you are doing certain job at that particular time, when you experience certain uh, you have certain experiences that result into developing up of a certain kind of skill. So these kind of knowledge based skills can be expressed like personal administration, contract management, accounting. These are various kind of skills which are based upon the knowledge based skill. As you all know that in a school, every stakeholder is very important because we interact with one another, maybe formally or informally. We learn something from each other, and which results into our experience, resulting into our experience, and then we, depending upon those experiences, we learn certain things and then skills are developed. But along with that, the teachers and the students who are in direct connect most of the time in a school, which is dominant upon the hours spent by a child at home, it is the teacher who influences more on a child or on a person than anybody else. So when we talk about the teachers, it is very important that the teaching skills we talk about, which means that they are the capabilities due to which the students enable or the teachers contribute to the students' success. And these skills are very, very important and they are required at every step of the way. For example, right from the creating of a lesson plan, instructing learners to collaborating with the parents, school administrators, teaching in the class, using certain methodology to use, all these things require a particular particular type of skill. So teaching skills, both they have hard skills and soft skills, which means that they are developed naturally, while others require formal training to acquire a certain kind of skill. So when we talk about teaching, it is very important that effective teaching skills are essential to keeping learners engaged and achieving academic success. Unless and unless and until a teacher doesn't have a skill to engage a student in the classroom, until and unless the teacher has a skill to avoid the disruption of the disruptive behavior of the child, he or she will not be able to execute the plan what she has made to teach in the class. So it is very important that certain teaching skills are most important in a school, which are directly proportional to the skills which will be enhanced, or they will be created, or they will be inculcated within the child in a classroom situation. So what are those teaching skills you think are important? So communication skills are one which is very important for a teacher to have a successful career. So because communication skill is one thing that you are able to correlate the ideas you are having in your mind, you are able to correlate the emotions you are having at that particular time into words. And those communication skill, if you are lacking with it, you will not be able to communicate the content or the plan you are having. So when we talk about communication skill, it ensures that student understands the content. Let's just say that teachers need to be confident in adapting their communication styles. I will be talking about the communication styles a bit later. For now, the type of communication which they are using in the class, the style in the class, because there are variety of learners sitting in that classroom situation. So the communication is very, very important, and it enables a teacher to transfer information to a learner and to communicate with the colleagues, with the administrators, with the parents. बंद हो गया submit. So I was talking. Sorry for the technical issue we just had. So I was talking that for teacher, communication skills are very, very important.
Ma'am, hello, ma'am. Please upload your file. Your slide is gone. So please leave.
I was talking about the communication skills due to which the
Sir,
child is
let
able to transfer.
ma'am, ma'am, please you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to share your presentation again.
Acha, once again. Okay. Slide.
Yes. Okay.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. So we were talking about the communication skills. So when I say that communication skills are very, very important for a teacher to transfer the information, whatever she is having through a language to the students, she needs to communicate uh, whatever she has learned or whatever is in her mind, not only with the students but with the administrators, with the parents, with the other stakeholders. And it becomes very important that this communication skill becomes an important component for connecting to the students as well as the parents. So what are the important components for a teaching skill, that is the communication skill? It can be active listening. Unless and until the teacher is not listening to the children, it is not work. She should have clarity of the communication, what she wants to communicate to the students. Age appropriate communication is also very important. How to communicate with the kindergarten children, how to communicate with primary children, how to communicate with middle class children, how to communicate with senior secondary or secondary children. They are very, very important. Are we going to communicate in writing or it is a verbal communication? That clarity has to be very much there. Using various forms of communication to keep students engaged, that is again very important. Another skill which is required for from the teacher is the organizational skill. So when we say organizational skill, it means it is again a very important and a typical skill which we expect that every teacher should have, so that she is able to do multitasking. And I hope everybody agrees to it that being a teacher needs to do multiple tasks at the same time. And it is only possible if she is organized. She has that organization skill. She knows that what activities is to be done, what lesson, in which order the lesson is to be executed, what kind of skills are to be inculcated within the children. This particular type of skill helps the teacher to have her plan executed. It helps to grade papers. It helps to keep the students record uh, in a systematic way, sorry. So this organization skill enables the students also to learn with minimal disruptions. It is not that only the students create disruptions, but if the teacher is not organized, you all will agree that it also creates disruption in the class. So organizational skills which the teacher which is observed by a teacher are organizing a classroom, managing a classroom, preparing lessons, maintaining records, time management, and scheduling it. This is again very important. So the other is the confidence. Number of times we see that a person has knowledge or a teacher has knowledge. She knows that how she has to execute her plan in the classroom, but even then she is not confident. So this teacher all teachers who are teaching, they require confidence. Number of times this happens, and I hope many of you might have also come across, especially when a new candidate who's a fresher teacher, I would say, goes into a senior class, and there is lot of disruption created by the students, and at that particular time, what happens is the teacher is not confident. She is not confident to speak her lessons or take her lessons, or she lacks the command over the subject. Maybe she knows it, she has the command over the subject, but because of lacking that confidence, she is not able to maintain the authority in the class. So a confident teacher becomes a confident speaker. She becomes knowledgeable and able to engage the learners. So once these traits are exhibited by the teacher in the class, what happens is there is a smooth delivery of lesson plan in the class, and it results into the learning outcomes, and whatever the teacher has planned, she is able to execute it. The following traits are very necessary to exhibit the confidence, and they are in-depth knowledge of the subject is very important. Unless and until the teacher is prepared with it, she will not be able to take the class. To inspire the learners, to motivate the learners, to relate well with the students, it is very important for a teacher that whatever examples are given, she should be able to connect the knowledge with the real world. Second, she should be able to connect with the students. To provide strong leadership is again very important to showcase the confidence in the class. Another is the motivational skills. Motivation is again very important, and the teacher needs to keep motivating their learners to achieve the individual and collective goals. Where the goal is that the student should get good marks, at the same time, for a teacher, it becomes a goal that whatever she is teaching at that particular moment of time, she achieves the learning outcome. The children are able to understand that, and that motivation may require encouragement. It may be constructive criticism. It can be rewarding good behavior to the child. Some words like great, good, keep it up can be used in the class, which are encouraging for the student. So it is not that a teacher needs only to take her lesson or execute her lesson plan, but at the same time, she needs to keep the children motivated also. And so that when you are motivating a child in the class as a teacher, what happens is you are also building their confidence and overcoming learning and life obstacles. So that I would like to mention in this particular session, that you all will agree that it has been researched that children from 0 to 6 years of age, their brain develops 95, 85 to 95%. And in such children, whatever habits, whatever learnings are inculcated, they carry it throughout their life. So it is very important that the children are motivated, the children are encouraged by certain maybe rewards, maybe certain words, so that they learn more and they become more confident and they be successful, and that skill of being confident will be inculcated right from the kindergarten stage to from kindergarten stage till the higher grades. Then is the conflict resolution. This conflict resolution is very important, because if the teacher does not have this skill, what will happen? She will be involved or will be trapped into unnecessary conflict being created by the students in the classroom situation, and she will be able to not be able to, I would say, to carry on her lesson plan. So the teachers need to have a effective conflict resolution skill to resolve certain kind of conflicts which are created or which arise among the students in the class. For that, diffusing tensions, meditating arguments, and helping students to come to an understanding, it helps. So how is it? I just want to give an example that in case there is a conflict in a class, though two students are having that conflict and they end up into hot words, at that particular time, a teacher should not say right or wrong to any of the student. She should take time. She should ask them to talk to her separately and after the class. What will happen? She will gain time. And once that time is over, uh, there are chances that children who are into conflict, they pacify and they understand that it is not good for them. So the teachers also need to learn that how can they resolve conflict among themselves also. So this is very very important. Another skill is the empathy. Empathy is very important because teachers need to be empathetic to the learners, maybe to one learner or group of learners in the class. This is necessary when the students are undergoing a hard time in their personal as well as academic life. We must understand that the teacher is not merely a teacher. A teacher is a facilitator. A teacher is a mentor in today's scenario. That word of being only teacher is obsolete now. So when somebody is a mentor at that particular time, he can only meant when he is able to understand the child personally as well as at the academic front. So when you are a mentor, you should show empathy by acknowledging your students' challenges and encourage and support them to the maximum. And it is only possible when you have a deeper understanding of the student. Then is the critical thinking, which is need of the hour in 21st century skills. When we talk of 21st century skill, we do talk of critical thinking, creative thinking, where NEP 2020 has also talked about it. So the critical thinking becomes very important. Teachers need to react very quick and find solutions to the problems which arise in the class, and they must be able to give certain kind of instructions and be confident so that any kind of challenge they come across, they are able to resolve it. Any kind of questions the students are putting, any kind of challenges there, they are able to resolve it. So for this, how can they do it? They need to actually prepare their lessons, assess learners, and develop long time plan as a teacher to develop critical thinking skills for themselves also and for the children also. Here I want to mention specifically is that this critical thinking does not it cannot be created just in a day or two or in a session. For this, if you want your children to be critical thinkers, you should actually train them to put questions. It is not the answers which make a person a critical thinker, but it is the question. So, whatever is being taught in the class, I would say that it is a need of the hour that we train our children that how to put questions. So that questioning can always be helpful to the teacher if they keep themselves in place of the students and ask questions, putting and that too of all types of learners present in the class. Then is the creative thinking, which is again very important. Students thrive in creative learning environments. Why it is so? The reason behind it is that there is lot of exposure. It is not lot of exposure to the media, to the knowledge, and number of times whatever is being taught in the class, the child is already aware of it. So the teacher needs to be very, very creative so that the students are thrived into a situation where they learn more from the environment, whatever the environment has been created in the classroom. So the teachers need to devise creative lesson plans. So now when I say creative lesson plans, here I would take this opportunity to mention that even CBSE, if you talk, NEP 2020 you talk, it is talking about the art integration in their lesson plans. It is talking that the teaching has to be interdisciplinary, where in one, where the teacher is teaching one subject, she needs to connect it to other subjects also. So when the teacher is focusing on the type of the students or the learners present in the class at that particular time, she needs to develop lesson plans which are very creative. She needs to uh, prepare projects where the students can be engaged. She needs to develop the same creativity among the students also, so that uh, the whole teacher and the taught both can go, or they together, and they are on the same level. Only then the result will be positive. So creativity learning helps students to retain their information for a longer period. And if I talk about the learners, especially when the children are made to, it is the pedagogy is activity based. The children have hands on to the experience of working at that particular time. They retain it for a longer period. So and this is going to excel the students in their career also. Another point is patience. Patience is, I think, if somebody has taken a profession of teaching, they will agree to my they'll agree to me that it is a profession which is very challenging, and something which is challenging and you need to encounter it at that particular of time. You need lot of patience. So the teachers should have this skill of being patient. If they have this skill, what will happen, that they will ignore the disruptions prevailing in the class. They will ignore certain unpleasant thing going on in the class. Some students are talking in the class, they'll be able to manage it, and they'll be able to smoothly carry forward their own lesson plan. So being patient will help them to uh, explain the difficult concepts. Sometimes what happens is that whatever topic, sometimes some topics are such dry that it requires lot of patience for a teacher to carry it forward, and that too in an effective way, where the students are also engaged in learning and the teacher is also able to deliver it. So there, if the teacher is patient, the results will definitely be positive. So the teacher who is calm, and she or he will be able to maintain the professionalism also. Then is the enthusiasm. So enthusiasm, I hope everybody understands, as the name shows, that if a teacher is full of energy, if the teacher is showing enthusiasm for work and the subject whichever she is taking or he is taking, that is going to inspire the students. So the enthusiastic teachers, they are always teaching their subject. The teaching is and the learning is with fun, and always keep their children engaged. This is again very, very important. So teaching their favorite subjects and introducing certain perspective, even if the teaching, they are teaching a very, very difficult or a complex subject or a topic at that particular time, but if they are full of enthusiasm, they are ready to take that challenge, and they are full of energy, the same is being transferred to the students, and they learn it being engaged with the teacher itself. That is the dedication. As I said, that teaching is a very very challenging profession if you are not dedicated. See, whatever profession you might have opted, if you are not dedicated towards it, if you do not have passion towards your profession, if you are not continuously working for your profession, uh, you may lose it. So if you really want to be in the system, what you have to have the dedication. So teachers need to be dedicated to their learners, and while they are being dedicated, they need to genuinely communicate or commit for ensuring learners to grasp the concept whatever they are teaching. And whatever lessons are taught in the classroom, if they are dedicated, they will work hard as per the uh, learners, different type of learners present in the class. Their lesson plans would be focusing on the average, below average, and the gifted children. So the results will be always be good. And if it happens, so what happens, they will be able to support one student, and their dedication will always be resulting into good results. Then is the technical skills. As you all know, after COVID, although before COVID only, there were many schools who had installed smart boards in their classrooms, but the teachers were always reluctant. And as it has been said, that necessity is the mother of invention. During COVID times, to keep their jobs, to keep in connect with the schools, to be in connected with the students from a distant place, they started making use of the technology. They started making use of their mobile phones. They came to know how to use certain applications. So what why I am mentioning all these things, because in today's scenario the technical skill is very important. This is utmost important. I would, if I say it, will not be wrong. So that technical skill along with the core subject skills is very important. Teachers need to have hard skills like report making, PowerPoint presentations, operating relevant teaching software. Teachers should also be able to show their students basic technical skills and computer proficiency, which is very important. So, when we are talking about the technical skills, I really want to see that this technical skill is something, and it has become a fashion in today's scenario. It's a fashion, I would say, in today's scenario, that we need to take feedbacks. So the teacher should be able to seek and act on feedbacks. She should also give while in trainings, and she should be uh, for effective learning, she should be able to take the feedbacks from the students also. That feedback is not something finding faults, it is like finding the gap areas. And if the teachers are in habit of taking feedbacks, they will be able to overcome those gap areas, and whatever they have taught, whatever time they have given in teaching, whatever lesson plans they have made, they will get an opportunity to rectify them. So this is very important that these skills, if they are exhibited in the classroom situation, definitely the children will also learn them from their teachers. And it has been rightly said that the students imitate their teachers. And why they imitate their teachers, maybe it is if the teacher is hard worker, if the teacher for personal as well as professional skills, they look at their teachers and they are imitating. And for the teachers, if I say, if they really want to improve, when they find, they take their feedbacks from the students or the parents, they come to know, they should not feel bad. In fact, they should improve their teaching skills. And how can they do that too? They should identify their strength and their area for improvement. And this can only be done through feedbacks. So once they come to know their gap area, this is one step ahead that they will be overcoming, and they're going to become a better version of themselves. They will become confident of whatever they are teaching, about their teaching styles, their working styles, and their connecting, how they connect with the students. So if they are able to identify their strength, if they are able to identify their teaching skills, they will definitely improve themselves and make use of effective strategies along with improving on them. Second improvement suggestion would be to implement improvement strategies. So whatever strategies they come to know, based upon the kind of students present in the class, if they are not getting, it has been said that if the student does not understand the way you are teaching, then it is better to teach a student according to the student. So if they start working like that, what will happen? Their results would be better. Their improved strategy will definitely improve their results. So what should they do is, what can they do? They can public speaking practice with their friends and family, can always be taken care of. Reading inspirational books can be done. Listening to motivational speakers can be done, so that they come to know that what tone, how they need to take the classes. Joining professional activities, associations will also help the teachers to be in a better position and to work in a better way. Networking with other teachers, finding a mentor for themselves, because we know that everybody's, even if become a teacher, there is always a scope of learning. So while considering this, and when we understand this one point, I think it will become easy for us that we keep mend ourselves, and we become a better version of ourselves too. Develop performance matrices. So when we start developing a matrix for ourselves, this will help us to measure our progress. How can we do that? We will need to set specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, timely goals. I mean, smart. So this is going to help us in developing. I just said about the matrices. So that performance matrices is going to help us, and for that we can take the help of a friend or a mentor, and we become a better version of it. So then we come to what are the as I was telling about the communication skills. Before I take up the communication skills, it is better again that I would talk about the skills which are required by a student. I can, of course, talk about the types of communication first. So, type of communication, when we say, this is very, very important. So, we all know that it is a kind of, it is something, there are verbal communications, non-verbal communications, and all these communications are very important. Another written type of communication, visual communication. So when we talk about all these things, you will agree to it that all the communication has an positive as well as adverse effect. Sometimes we do not make a right choice when we are verbally communicating with someone. If we are not making the right choice of words, what will happen? The child will not understand what we are saying, and there are chances that there is a misunderstanding. So when there is a misunderstanding, there is a chance that something, we want to say something else, but something else is understood. So we need to, when we are communicating verbally, we need to be very, very confident. Our need to be strong communication. We need to avoid filters. We need to be active listener. avoid industry jargon with appropriateness. So all these things, our words are very important. Our vocabulary, our tone, modulation is very important. At the same time, no, when we are communicating with somebody, but it is a non-verbal kind of communication. At that particular time, it's not only the words what we speak that communicate, that means something. It is the gesture also, it is the body language also, even the eyes will speak, you all will agree to it. So to notice that, we need to be having our physical as well as our emotional balance very important, so that whenever we are communicating, we should be understood, and what we want to make others understand, that is only being communicated. So this non-verbal kind of communication, if I just say, we need to check our emotions and our physical, uh, our body language also. So be intentional about your non-verbal communication, and mimic non-verbal communication, you find very effective. So you can practice, one can practice for such kind of communication. Visual is something, visual communication, ask others before including visuals. Consider your audience, what type of audience you are going to face, what age appropriateness is again very important, what type of audience you are going to have, and depending upon your audience, you must be able to communicate. Only use visuals which are going to be effective, which is going to add value to what you are really want to communicate. Make them clear and easy to understand kind of thing. So when you are doing written communication, your words need to be very very simple. You don't need to rely on the tone at that particular time, but the words you are making use of, that need to be clear, and whatever you want to communicate, they should be able to send that message to the other person. Or if you're talking about the student, or the student to the teacher, vice versa, it should be in that way. Take time to review your written communication. Once you have written, you must always go through it once again, revise it, and wherever need be, you need to edit it. Keep a file of writing you find effective or enjoyable, so that it's not only once, but it can be taken into consideration again and again. So after this, there are certain types of communication. With the technology, you will all agree to it, that it is not only the types, but there are various ways again that we can communicate with the students, or the students can communicate with the uh, teachers. So there are various types of styles on which we can communicate. So different style means, it is, there are basically aggressive passive aggressive and assertive. So it is important to understand the communication style, and why individuals is using them. For example, the assertive communication style has found to be most effective because it incorporates the best aspect of other styles. When you are assertive, when you are positive, so it is but obvious that nobody wants to warn that somebody should be against. So this assertive kind of uh, communication is always good, and because of this assertive kind of thing, it, you are developing confidence, you are developing good relationship also. Passive is a kind of communication style which is often act indifferently. Communicators used to fail to express their feelings or needs, allowing others to express themselves. Frequently, a passive communicator lack of outward communication can lead to misunderstanding, anger, build up, or resentment. And such kind of passive communicators often display a lack of eye contact, because they have a poor body postures. and an inability to say no. So if you are a communicator, we must all learn to say no also. We don't do that. So I think if we passive communicators also act in a way that states people never consider my feelings. So it has always been said that such kind of uh, uh, people who are passive communicators, they always have an exam, they always have a complaint that people don't understand. And sometimes it is also said that it really doesn't matter that much. I just want to keep peace, that is why I'm not reacting to it. It is not like that. Aggressive type of communicators are such who are always aggressive. They often apparent when someone is communicating in an aggressive manner. You'll hear it, you'll see it, you may even feel it number of times. So how is it that speaking, sometimes someone is speaking very loud, someone is demanding voice, maintaining intense eye contact, and dominating or controlling others by blaming them, intimidating, criticizing, threatening, or even attacking them, among other traits. So such kind of uh, style is not good. Only the style, as I said, the aggravated style is assertive style is always a good on over the others. So just talking about, sorry. So when we have talked about the communication type of skills, the style of skills, I think it is important to talk about the students, because in a school, as I don't want to miss this opportunity again, that we must all understand that in today's scenario, education is considered to be a try process where student, parent, and the teacher are equally responsible for upbringing of a child. Before taking up the skills for the students, I would say that the parents also need to have good parenting skills. Again, parenting is again a skill, everybody cannot do it. For that we I need to just mention it that the even the parents should have a skill of listening. The parents should have the skill of being patient. The parents should be good communication skills. They need to be critical thinkers, they need to be creative thinkers, they need to cooperate with their students, they need to collaborate, they must have a collaborative or teamwork, because if they are also doing all these things, and for that they need to grow with their kids. And how can they grow with their kids? It is only possible when the parents are connecting their schools, they are going to attend the PTMs, they are talking about their children, they are talking about their behavior to the, they're talking about their behavior and telling the teachers about their kids, their behavior patterns at home. I think when both teacher and the parents sit together and talk about their children, definitely there is no reason that why the child will not be as desired. The child will automatically learn a skill to be better and better. So talking about the students, as I in the beginning I just said that in 19th century there was a time where we were only focusing on the reading, writing, arithmetic skills. But in today's scenario, it is very important that we talk about information and media literacy. We talk about critical skills. We talk about problem solving skills. We talk about teamwork. We talk about technology savvy. So if a person knows all these things apart, I will not say that you need to ignore reading, writing, and arithmetic. But if you are focusing on other skills, what I just mentioned is to work in team, critical thinker, problem solver, decision maker, IT savvy, or information technology savvy, only then you will be successful. So what are the things a child who is being educated, how can he be successful? It is only the digital uh, literacy, I would say, to be a computer savvy kind of person, to be in connection with the technology, to be media literate, and having a skill of metacognition, only he or she will be successful. So, if I talk about this skills which today's child must have, it would be digital literacy. Now, this is a age. This 21st century age is a age of digital. It's a digital age where reading, writing, and arithmetic is important. At the same time, it is important that the children become computer savvy. Number of times in today's scenario, we see that the countries which are developing, the parents are not ready to give their children mobile phones. They are not ready to give them laptops or these kind of devices. And they must understand that in today's scenario, these things are part of stationery, and in case they are not providing this stationery to their child, their children will lag behind, number one. And there is no, this is my opinion, of course, that there is no danger of thinking that it will be in there, they'll be influencing their kids in the wrong way, or the children will have health issues. It is not like that. The children in today's scenario, they are the children of technology. They are the children of technological era, if I would say it like that. So it becomes very, very important that our children become digitally literate. So to become digitally literate, it is very important that whatever may matter, the children should know computers. This means that to be a successful student, they need to analyze, they need to manage, they need to integrate, they need to evaluate and create information through different media, which implies information and media literacy. Because in our ages, I'm talking about me, we did not have access to internet. We did not have the we were only restricted to the books for knowledge. But now when they are open for for getting knowledge, I think that is only one mean which is going to make them successful. Communication is, it is important for the teachers to have. It is also important for a student to enhance this communication skill. It is important uh, uh, how they can invent or how they can inculcate the skill within themselves. Because why it is important, because this is again a reason, this is a way for reasoning, forms the channel. They are able to, it's a means of communicating number of people, number of ways they can communicate with other people, or in the society, or in their class, or in their school, everywhere. So it is very necessary that communication skills should be enhanced. And these communication skills can only be developed, and the students can be enriched when they are given opportunity by the school teachers to say, to speak on the stage, and through different methods, by having a debate competition, by speech competition, or reading competitions. When the children will have to speak, I think that confidence level will also be enhanced, and their communication skills will definitely enhance. And this only depends upon the knowledge and the skill needed for expressing writing communication. This communication skill is, of course, dependent upon the writing skill and the reading skills, designing, how they design and how they write and how they send messages. Because I told you that there are different ways of writing their skill or exhibiting their skill. Then is the cooperation skill. Cooperation, when I say cooperation, means to work in a team. As I have already mentioned that in 21st century, it is very important to work in a team. If we think that as I am an individual and I can be successful without the without taking anyone's help, we are mistaken. We cannot be successful in today's scenario unless and until we are in habit of working in a team. And in at school level, how can that be done? Through certain projects, through certain games which can be given to the class, or in class in groups, where the different tasks can be assigned to children in a group or in a class. And when they complete that task, you will find that they have done in a very good way, and that project can perhaps become successful, because uh, children of different ideologies, children coming from different backgrounds, when they talk, they have different skills in them. And when they are doing and they are exhibiting, they are expressing their ideas, when they have that knowledge, when they come, that all knowledge is being combined, those abilities are being combined, they achieve great success. That is for sure. So I think it is very crucial to develop children's skill for cooperation, establishing communication, healthy exchange of opinions, correct conflict resolutions, compromising, especially during final years of primary school, throughout secondary school, which prepares them intensively for the adult world. Here I would again mention it, that till date there have been conflicts, that children always have they have a complaint that people don't understand them. But I think right from the beginning, if we start teaching children to uh, seek to understand others, I think there would be a win-win situation for everyone. When we teach children to synergize their energies in a group, definitely there will be a win-win situation, where we give where we value somebody's, when we have integrity, when we value others ideas, when we are open minded, when we have growth mindset. Obviously these all skills are going to, or these values are going to help a child to build up cooperation skills, working in a team. Then is the creativity or confidence, I would say. So again, confidence, as it is very important for a teacher, similarly it is very important for the child also. And if the child is able to communicate, if the child is working in a group, getting a chance to give his own ideas, to express his own views, he will definitely be confident enough. And it is only possible when he has knowledge. So right knowledge is to be imparted in the school. Then we talk about creativity. Maybe it is not mentioned by mistake, but then creativity is again very important. As I said, that creativity means discovering new connections. So how does creativity come? You see, in every age, in every grade, or in every class, the child learns something. So when the child has learned something and we ask the child to create something, how can he create it? Whatever knowledge has been imparted in the classroom, whatever he has experienced it, what, depending upon the knowledge assimilated, when a child creates something new, it's not only about the knowledge that he has got from the classroom situation. It can be through the environment, it can be from the friends, it can be from the society, it can be from the parents. Whatsoever environment he is living, when he collaborates all that simulated knowledge and creates something constructive, I think that is creativity. And how do we help children doing it? It is only possible that when they discover new connections, relations, possibilities of matching already familiar elements, and they create something new, that becomes creativity. So it is very important that the children are taught to be creative, and one can only be creative, I think, when they are taught to be positive. They have a positive attitude towards everything. And when do somebody have that positive attitude? I think when somebody has that aesthetic sense. When we say aesthetic sense means, aesthetic is, again, I believe that it is related to beauty. And when something is related to beauty, this means that the appreciation skill, that when they are not only having this skill to appreciate the god made things, natural things, but they are also appreciating other human beings, their ideas, their thinking process. Definitely they will be in habit of appreciating everything. So once they start appreciating others or other things, what will happen? They will have a positive bent of mind, they will have positive attitude, they will start thinking, taking things and people in positive aspect. And once they start having things positive, when they start thinking, they will have be in habit of inventing something which is, they will become creative. And once they become creative and build up something which is very creative, or something which is very useful for the society, I think they become creative. And then comes the inventive thinking and intellectual capacity. Inventive thinking, again, I said that whatever knowledge they are having, they are well developed, they have imaginations, they have a positive aptitude, attitude, they are taking everything assertively. What happens? Their imagination is also in a constructive way. And because of their critical thinking skills, they create something, they invent something which is new, and uh, it is good for the society. So under such circumstances, whatever they create, whatever possibility regarding its realization, as well as possess the ability to adjust in the best possible way. So they adjust themselves and they create which is good for the society. Problem based thinking and problem solving. So someone, uh, I would say, I would mention that we need to create our children as leaders. So once we think that our leader, we are in the process of creating leaders in the schools, what will happen? We will also focus in making them problem solvers. Problem based thinking means that they may be put into any kind of challenging situation. They will connect to the knowledge whatever they have assimilated. They will connect, they will learn. If there is a problem, they will connect that knowledge, or they will acquire that knowledge, so that through which they can resolve the problem, they can solve that problem, and ultimately they will be a success. So it is very very important that we focus on the uh, positive thinking. We need make our children problem solvers. Instead they grumble over the problems. They should be problem solvers. And the teachers must transfer these very kind of knowledge adoption models to the students, so that they can apply, and then what they have learned, what they can create from their knowledge, is the constructive thing in their life. So it has been, it turns that requires knowledge from different areas are being connected, put into the service of finding a solution. So as I said earlier also, that whatever knowledge they have assimilated from any sphere, they will, whenever they encounter a problem, whenever they are in a challenging situation, they will connect all those learnings and resolve that problem. In today's scenario where knowledge imparting is very important in a school, in today's scenario where it is very important that we develop skills in the school, where it is important that technology is taught to the children, they become digitally literate, it is also important that values are inculcated within the children. When I talk about values, I think to have the value of integrity, to respect other person, humility, compassionate, to be open minded, to have a growth mindset, to have aesthetic sense, to have again empathy. All these values are very very important, and if somebody has all these values, it is but natural, I think. The children will become responsible. So somebody becomes responsible only when they start analyzing ourselves. So there is a dire need that we need to teach our children that instead of complaining, we should also. So it is very important. It is very important that these skills, uh, value system is created, and when value system is making our children having all these values, what I have just mentioned, which are 21st century, I believe they will become responsible. They will not complain. They will not blame, and they will start self analyzing themselves. So once somebody starts analyzing their selves, they become more responsible. Quality, top results, and productivity is again because I'm talking about uh, the skills today. So this is again, and in a school or in a college, what is important is the result and the product which we create in our organizations or our institutions is important. So the quality, top results, and productivity is very important to show the good test, good result. Schools do not insist much on productivity. It is true, but I personally believe that the students, maybe in a college, maybe in a school, they are the products of that particular school. And if they are the products of that school, it is important that whatever is the result they show, it is the product of that particular organization. So the quality top results should also be focused. As I said in the beginning, that in today's scenario we are not focusing much on reading, writing, and arithmetic, but we are focusing on other skills. But I would say that yes, if we are focusing on the results, I think all those things, those subject knowledge and all are important. So where all these things are important, in if I talk about that, how this can all be, how it can be helped. So you see that the priorities that we give impart knowledge in the school, and when you are giving knowledge, learning happens. It is for the teacher as well as for the student both, because unless and until the teachers are thinking to continuously learn, if they are thinking, there will be stagnation, and anything which is stagnant, it leads to perishness. So in case they need to uh, continue their services, in case they really want to be there, they need to be a continuous learner throughout their life. Then competence, that competency regarding their subject, regarding their teaching skills, has to happen, and through trainings that can be adopted or that can be achieved. Experience again matters. Through that, whatever they are learning, whatever create they are creating, whatever activities they are doing, they will experience it. Once they experience, they will have the ability to do that. And because of that ability only, because as I in the beginning said that it is the knowledge and the experience, that their ability to do work, and in that limited time frame and with that limited energy, or the both time and energy, all how effectively they do their work, that is the skill. So because of that ability, that growth happens. And then after training again, if they had that growth, advanced training should be there, and this circle continues. And within a span of time, what will happen? Skills will be developed. And if it is a continuous process, it is for sure that the children will be successful in their life. Skill development activities in the school, what are they? As I said, that for purpose of upgrading the students with employability skill, various skills development activities like out of the box thinking, poster making, advertising, debating, presentations, brainstorming, creativity, business plans, branding, and many more are conducted on weekly or monthly basis. So all these things, they help the children to think out of the box, and in this way they learn all kind of skills, whatever I have just talked about. So this was all from my side, and if somebody has any question, they can definitely have a look. I'm open for the questions.
Uh, Thank you so much, ma'am, for your
Welcome.
rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which is our only intention, learn and grow together IGP knowledge seekers. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which
Welcome.
is one more valuable part of our regular webinars. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we'll be back in our session part 2, which is our question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have our webinar certification process and our quiz competition. Once again, welcome back, everyone. It's time for our question answer session. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in our comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Our speaker will answer those questions. Once again, welcome back, ma'am. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, if you have any question, you can ask. Our speaker will answer those questions. Please ask your question. We are waiting to dear IGP knowledge seeker. We are still waiting for your question. So please, if you have any question, please ask in our comment box. Ma'am, I think there is no more question. There is no question. Yeah, I think you covered all the topic in your slide. So that's why there is no more question.
Okay,
So
thank you,
once
ma'am.
again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional. Honorable ma'am. Hope to see you again with a new topic at the end of the day. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you.
Dear IGP notice seeker, today are some technical problem. We cannot share our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, today are some technical problem. We cannot share our certificate code. We provide our certificate code in a short time. Thank you. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. First, you have to go www.site.com and find today's quiz or scan this QR code for direct joining. Quiz code is Global IGP and quiz code is Global IGP. After a short video, we'll be back with our quiz session. After short video, you will be back. So please stay with us and enjoy our quiz. Once again, welcome back, everyone. It's time for our most engaging part, which is our quiz part. To join our quiz session, you have to follow my instruction carefully. First, you have to go www.slido.com. Then you have to enter the code, and the code is Global IGP. And the code is Global IGP. Already 22 people joined with us. Now we'll start our quiz session. So please everyone be ready. Our first question is skill development is important during your time at school. Is it true or false? Skill development is important during your time at school. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is true and 100% will are right. Next question. Will does not skip school because he will be punished for the level of development. Is it pre-conventional? And second option is conventional. And the correct answer is pre-conventional and 83% will are right. The next question. Name the skill development program running in the school. Is it Yoga Kriti? Second option is ICT Club. Name the skill development program running in the school. Is it option 1 or option 2? And the right answer is option 1, Yoga Kriti, and 19% people are right. Then next, as motor skill development increases participants levels, is it option 1, this decrease, second option increase? And the correct answer is increase and 92% people are right. Uh, Now we're going to our next question. The levels of ordered skill development are, is it option 1, detection, discrimination, deletion, identification? Second option is detection, discrimination, identification, comparison. And the correct answer is option 2 and 84% were right. Now, next question is developmentally appropriate toys match the skill and growth level for the particular age. Is it true or false? Developmentally appropriate toys match the skill and growth level for the particular age. Is it true or false? The correct answer is true and 96% were right. Next question. School age child's fine motor skill development map with delight is option 1. Unable to draw object or shape. Second option, messy handwriting. The correct answer is option 1. The next, have difficulties focusing or learning in school, show poor skill development. Is it option trauma? And second option is ADHD. And the correct answer is trauma and 15% will right. Next, the progression spiritual illustrates skill development from elementary to high school. Is it option 1 true and option 2 is false? The right answer is false and no one is right. Social or emotional development is a skill learned and preschool education. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is true and 88% people are right. Congratulations, Emily M. Refugue. He's a top one. In second position, we have Nasiruddin. In third position, we have Rasalenda. In fourth position, we have Boitu Milo Mofu. Congratulations, our top 10 quiz competition winner. This competition winner, we have all of your name which you entered during joining. Will you pick your name from Slido and paper certificate and post them on our Facebook official page and to our Facebook official page and group name is Institute of Global Professional. At the end moment of a session, you can say properly finish, we never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. We happy stay safe, see you again and again. If you want your participation in our every program, if you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not a people or things someone else. Before I say or hit the end live button, again wants to thank all IGP